Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we have a little bit different of a video. We're not talking about the LCS or the LEC. Today we're actually talking about the North American amateur scene. And while that might not sound like necessarily the most, crazy, entertaining topic in the world, or the most exciting topic in the world, it is actually a really, really big story about a huge controversy, some drama, and honestly just a really, really sad and upsetting, disappointing story going on behind the scenes right now in the NA amateur scene, and it's something that we have seen at times before in small leagues, whether it be China or Korea or Europe or the United States, and it's something that really, it happens all over the world in all kinds of sports, but it's definitely something that esports needs to get a grip of, that Riot, I think, needs to be on top of and holding teams and owners and everything more accountable for. Today we're definitely going to be going through a ton of interesting stuff. We're not really sure about all the facts or exactly what's going down entirely, but there is at least an interesting story to tell, so I think this should hopefully make for an interesting video. Before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, if you guys have not already, please take a second and smash that subscribe button really quick. I would appreciate it so much. It helps you guys stay up to date on all my latest content. You know, we have the LEC playoffs starting up this weekend, LCS playoffs right back at it again this weekend, MSI coming up in like a month or so, a ton of awesome big events in the League of Legends world coming up in the near future, so you don't want to miss out on any of the content I have. I'm going to be posting tons of videos and stuff, obviously, keeping you guys up to date on all the latest news, information, rumors, speculation, all that good stuff. And obviously you guys subscribing helps me out a ton as well, and I would definitely appreciate that. Also, dropping a like on this video helps me out the YouTube algorithm. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, LCS official. This was actually March 18th, so it was a couple days ago. I didn't really get to the story because I had a ton of LCS and LEC stories to cover, obviously with the LCS playoffs starting up, starting my LEC tier list coming out this week and all that. So I didn't have time to talk about this, but it was on my radar. I knew I wanted to talk about it, and I knew it was a pretty big story. And again, facts and more information and stuff is coming out every day. LCS official tweet out, the LCS is in discussion with Solafide and its players. In the meantime, the players have chosen to disband the team instead of participating in Proving Grounds. As a result, the Last Chance qualifier will now have 3 qualifying spots for Proving Grounds, which will extend the tournament to 5 days. For more information on the Last Chance qualifier, I can't even talk, make sure you stay tuned to Nerd Street Gamers. So, this is kind of an interesting story, and when this tweet came out, you know, people were like, oh, what the heck is going on? Why did this happen? What does this even mean? I know we recently saw a team over in, I believe, the Chinese secondary league they kind of shut down the Academy League, or the, you know, the equivalent of the Academy League, the Amateur League, whatever, because there was match fixing and stuff going on, and there's always certain kinds of drama, and people were like, oh, they got, maybe they got some Academy offers or something like that. Maybe they got some LCS offers, so they're going to disband. And, you know, it turns out maybe the truth, again, not saying it is the truth, this is just speculation. This, nothing has been proved to this point so far. We're not throwing any, serious, pretending like anything is the truth yet, but this is the story allegedly. So, you know, people started asking some questions in the comments. They said, did you not try to propose them to compete as not Academy team like they did before joining Solofide, and saying, yeah, they disbanded, so we'll give them another team their spot is utter BS. And then, like Steve Kangas said, the players have chosen to disband the team instead of participating in Proving Ground. So, you know, hopefully they were given that opportunity still to participate, but we don't know exactly for sure there. I assume Kangas knows something there, but I can't be sure. Finally, this guy asks what happened, and we get maybe a little bit of some information going on. So this guy says, Solofide was a bit of a super team with Apollo, ZEYZAL, and an ex-LCS bot lane. Apollo, ZEYZAL, and ex-LCS bot lane. They had some former LCS and Academy players throughout their lineup. He said apparently it was formed because much money was promised and ZEYZAL skipped Academy. That was a big thing that, now that Academy and, the amateur scene were going to be kind of intertwined, some players were having to decide between maybe making a little bit more money and playing in the amateur teams and not having that affiliation to an LCS team, not having the possibility to be called up to an LCS team throughout the season, not getting to work with the coaching staff at those facilities, all that stuff, but maybe making a little bit more money, maybe playing on a little bit better team, maybe getting some more exposure into Proving Grounds and winning some more tournaments and stuff like that, and maybe having a chance to look better to maybe be picked up by an LCS team in the summer split or headed into 2022 or something like that. So a lot of these players had to make these decisions. There are a couple guys on this Solofide team that either allegedly got Academy offers, or maybe got Academy offers, or maybe would have gotten Academy offers if they didn't go to this amateur team. And again, part of it was because they were promised these big salaries, or I don't even know what big salaries mean, bigger salaries than maybe they could have made in Academy. And then this guy says, however, said money evaporated and the players were paid about the same as TSM's win in the group stage. And then like this guy says, you know, you could have explained the situation without involving TSM group stage performance, just saying thanks. It still hurts. Haha. You know, I love the comment section on the tweet. I thought it was hilarious. But obviously the guy does explain the situation well. There have been a lot of people saying, you know, that previously the Solafide owner was kind of flexing on people, like how much his academy team's paid and how good they are and how awesome they are. I believe there is a tweet towards the bottom here where, you know, this is one of his other tweets where he said, hopefully your team can afford McDonald's to celebrate their win tonight. GG. And, you know, it sounds like their owner was a big trash talker and all this stuff. You know, people have made fun of that in his bio. He says he's a finance major, or not finance major, but involved in finance and stuff, and just the irony of then not being able to pay your players and stuff, which is, you know, obviously funny. And then here's some other memes and stuff to kind of give context to what's going on. He said, make an amateur team consisting of former LCS and academy players. Spend $400K on the roster and flex all over Twitter. Don't pay the players the promised salary so they leave. And then, you know, obviously that's what happened. And this guy, unfortunately, was then blocked by Solofide GG Esports on Twitter. And the other funny thing coming out of this whole situation is, I believe this is the owner or whatever, SF Oddity, you know, the finance guy who's been tweeting all the stuff, talking all the trash and everything. And he is currently private on Twitter. He now has his tweets protected because I'm sure, you know, he was getting a lot of hate and being asked a lot of questions and people were kind of wondering what the heck is going on. And, oh, you're talking all this trash before, and like, you know, why aren't you paying your players? Why is your team disbanded? What is going on? The Solofide Twitter account has actually kept tweeting. You know, they're still involved in other esports and stuff, it seems like. So maybe they still have some money to pay some people, but they didn't have the big money to pay their LCS or their League of Legends team. You know, I'm not exactly sure what is going on, but like it says, the LCS is in discussion with Solafide and its players, so hopefully they're, you know, investigating, looking into this stuff, getting to the bottom of it. Also, we have, if I go back far enough here, here we go, Jacob Wolf getting involved in on the action. He says, this is as good of a time as any to remind folks that I've investigated a years-long scam in the NA Challenger Series. Oh, hey, Apollo Price. So this is the actual roster for Solafide, which is a stacked roster, especially when you look at like academy and amateur teams and stuff. And it's not like they had just been dominating. I think they won one tournament. They finished like second one time. They had a second, a third, maybe a fifth through eighth, and a first. So, you know, they were having some decent results, but this lineup of the LCS bot lane and Apollo Price and ZEYZAL, and again, these are two guys that I wouldn't be shocked at all if ZEYZAL got some academy offers. I wouldn't be shocked at all if Apollo got some academy offers. I think Apollo has been solid when he's been in the LCS. He hasn't been amazing, but he's been solid. And then ZEYZAL has had some good splits, some bad splits. More recently, I think he was pretty bad in the LCS, but when I look at some of the LCS sports from this last split, you know, I'd take ZEYZAL over Newbie. I'd take ZEYZAL over Diamond. I'd probably even take ZEYZAL over Smoothie. So, you know, I think ZEYZAL could still be a potentially LCS caliber guy, but for sure an academy caliber guy. So again, they kind of took a risk going to this amateur team, trying to make more money, which I don't fault them at all. You know, you got to make some money, especially these guys going from LCS salaries to academy salaries or amateur salaries, or whatever, you know, wanting some more money. But then they also had Tuesday, Dokla, and Winston. So, you know, these are guys that I wouldn't be as surprised if they didn't get academy offers. I think Winston was not that good on TSM Academy. Tuesday's a guy who's been kind of bouncing around for a while. I know a lot of people think he's a beast, but you know, we'll see if he is able to get his opportunity or not. And then Dokla, we've seen in the LCS on Optic, and people have not been too impressed with him, and I don't think he had that good of a stint on TSM Academy either. But these are all solid players, especially for the amateur, for the academy scene. There's nothing wrong with that. I tweeted at Jacob Wolf and said, why'd you tweet this at the players? I was a little bit confused at first. To me, it kind of felt like he was just, I don't know, talking about his old article in a way, and I get that's not what he was doing. I get that he's trying to say, hey, I've investigated this stuff before. Would you guys like to talk to me? I can begin investigating. But I don't know. Is Jacob Wolf like the detective in this situation? That's what I didn't really understand. I mean, obviously, yes, if he wants to, you know, investigate and write a good story and get the truth out there, that's awesome. But to me, it just kind of felt like a weird time the day of this happening, being like, oh, hey, I heard you guys got scammed. You want me to write an article? Here's an article I wrote about it previously. I don't know. Something about that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I maybe sent a bad tweet. I don't know. I thought it was fine. I just think there was maybe better timing by Jacob Wolf, or maybe he could have, you know, reached out to them in private or something, or maybe not attached it to his old article. It kind of, in a weird way, felt like promoting his old stuff to me, like in, I don't know. It was just kind of weird. That's kind of where I was coming from. I don't know how to put it into words best, or how to explain what exactly I was even saying. But yeah, I don't know. I felt, but then this guy, responded because of this, and I understood the whole situation. I get how it's tangentially related, like scamming in the past. And Jacob Wolf wrote this article about Joshua Mullins. If a few moves broke his way, the now convicted forger would have been at the top of esports while still just a teenager. And again, if this guy's been convicted, so maybe if Jacob Wolf in any way could help them, get involved with like authorities or a lawyer or something like that, that'd be great. But I don't know about, if their first priority is going straight to like a journalist to, write an article about it. That's what I just thought was a little bit weird. But this is kind of the latest information we have. These 5 guys, Apollo, ZEYZAL, Tuesday, Dokla, and Winston, they were a top amateur team. They were getting ready to compete in Proving Grounds. This was maybe an opportunity for a lot of them to shine on a big stage against the best of the best players in amateur and academy and prove to LCS teams or even academy teams that they're deserving of a spot and that they want to work their way back into the LCS. So not only does this suck for all of these players financially, if they were promised salaries and they've been busting their ass all year and promoting this Solofide brand and getting this, this owner, whatever he calls himself, the founder of this team, of getting his name out there and making him more popular and potentially making him some money and stuff, whether or not they had the money and they mismanaged it. I know there's been some rumors of them like gambling it away or doing some stupid stuff with it. There's other rumors that they never had the money in the first place. Who knows the truth? And I hope we do find out the truth one day. And I hope it's possible to some extent to get some of these players the money that they were offered and that they were promised and that they're contractually obligated to. And I hope it does work out in the end for a lot of these guys, because it is really, really sad to see players being lied to or manipulated or whatever, but obviously we are still in a very, very new industry. We are an industry in its infancy where there's going to be scams, and again, even in established sports and in billion-dollar industries and stuff, there's always scam artists, there's always fakes, there's always frauds. So you just hope that Riot, cracks down on this, does their due diligence, goes about things in the best way they can, and that we can avoid as many issues like this in the future. But I think definitely these people, obviously need to be reprimanded and need to face consequences for the things they're doing. If this stuff does all end up to be true, who knows the exact truth, but for whatever reason this team is disbanded, these players are potentially losing out on money, and they're definitely losing out on the opportunity to potentially advance their careers, to perform on a big stage, perform in a big tournament, and that is really, really sad and really upsetting in the end. And it's still a crazy, wild, interesting story, and if we get any updates or anything in the future, we'll definitely be covering that. But that's kind of the latest we have right now. Solofide esports team, League of Legends team, has disbanded, will not be participating in Proving Grounds. These 5 big name players in the academy and amateur scene are not going to be competing, and that is really a shame. And who knows what the future holds for any of these players or this team or any of these guys at this point, which is really crazy, and it's got to be insanely stressful, upsetting, depressing for them right now. So I hope they are all doing well. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. I would appreciate it so much. Really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment down below. What do you think's going on in this situation? Do you think any of these guys are going to find their way onto another amateur team, onto an academy team? Do you think we'll be seeing any of these guys in the LCS anytime soon? Would you like to see Apollo, ZEYZAL, Tuesday, any of these guys on your favorite LCS team? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on anything we talked about in today's video. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!